I've made it clear that the Bengals need to be aggressive ahead of Tuesday's trade deadline. And you've asked the question, who? James, who should they get? There's been so many players already traded. Who should they trade for? I'll tell you right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to CBT. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and join the 48,000 plus Bengals fans that subscribe. Make sure you check out all of our videos this week, from Enter the Jungle to my thoughts on the trade deadline, my 1,000-foot view. They're 3-5. Should they buy? Should they not? I think my logic makes plenty of sense. And yes, I would still, just to let everyone know, if you missed my Cooper Kupp video last week, I would still make that call, although it does seem unlikely from the Rams' perspective, because guess what they're doing? They're going for it. They want to win. They have a franchise quarterback. They have weapons in their prime, and they want to make a run. And the Bengals should feel the same way. So who should the Bengals target? With all of these guys, Josh Uche switching teams, DeAndre Hopkins switching teams, the Titans are still selling guys. Well, first, I'm going to get to, before I get to my number one trade target, the guy I would target right now and prioritize, I would say that there are some guys that you're interested in that just are unrealistic from a contract standpoint. And number one is Jeffery Simmons. Jeffery Simmons' contract is going to make it tough. The Titans may trade him, but I would be surprised if the Bengals said, yes, let's dive into that type of contract. And a large part of that is you do that mid-season and you're juggling cap wise, and it makes it challenging, and there's a lot of hurdles there. And so Jeffery Simmons is one of three guys that are unlikely, because of their contract, even in a world where the Bengals are aggressive at the deadline, unlikely to trade for. The other two, Harold Landry, also with the Titans, makes a ton of sense. You're talking about two guys, whether it's Simmons in the middle, Landry on the edge. You would love both of those guys on your football team because they get pressure and they can change games from that standpoint. The other one is Devon Godchow, and I out of New England, and he's a defensive tackle. He signed a 2-year contract. I just, to me, think they don't want to make that move now, because what that move is essentially saying, all right, well, we want Devin Godchow over BJ Hill or over insert whoever long-term. And so I just think it's unlikely, but that's certainly a name that has been tossed around in trade circles. So those are three defensive linemen. And I am kind of bummed by this, that outside of Cooper Kupp, there's no realistic, like there's Darius Slayton and some of these guys. The Bengals could still use another weapon. And the Kupp move last week, if they had done it before Thursday Night Football, who knows? Who knows what would have happened? Anyways, I'm letting it go, I promise. My number one trade target, and by the way, today's video is brought to you by Rivertown Inquiry and rivertowninquiry.com. You're looking for Cincy gear. You see this hoodie? See this hat? You can get both right now at rivertowninquiry.com, and check out both of their locations, one in Findlay Market, the other in Oakley. Let's get to my top trade target. The guy that I would say, let's bring him in. Let's make him part of our core. Let's sign him to an extension. It's Azeez Ojulari, former second-round pick, a guy we saw a few weeks ago with the New York Giants, 6 sacks, 24 tackles on the year, someone that you're just going to let do his thing, disrupt the quarterback. Those are the type of pieces that I want that can help you win right now. Azeez Ojulari, if they traded for him right now, one, that's why you got to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because we would have an instant reaction video, boom, just like that. Two, he would be able to play Sunday. He would be able to make an impact Sunday. He would be able to make an impact Sunday and then on Thursday against the Ravens in week 10. That's what he would be able to do. And so a guy like that can make an instant impact, that's 24 years old, that can join your culture, that is used to winning, was a Georgia product, went to Georgia. And so you're talking about someone that could come in right away, boom, and make an impact. Two, and the reason he's in the final year of his rookie contract, but the reason I like Ojulari as much as I do is he's represented by John Thornton. Yeah, that John Thornton, former Bengal John Thornton. And to me, Well, is that David Mulugeta, the guy fans hate? No, it's a guy that you know well, that hopefully you can negotiate a long-term deal with when it comes to Azeez Ojulari. To me, this is the type of move that would make a ton of sense. Will it cost? Absolutely. But it's still probably a day 3 pick. The Bengals have all of their picks. He's my number 1 target because not only is he helping now, but it's realistic to think you could get an extension done with him and you could have him for his age 25, 26, 27, and 28 years. You know, you sign him to a 4-year extension this offseason. Suddenly you have a core pass rush piece that works with Trey Hendrickson, that works with Miles Murphy if Miles Murphy takes a step forward. It's not like you're punting on these guys, but Joseph Ossai's in his final year. You're going to have that need, of course, this offseason. Trading for Azeez Ojulari makes a lot of sense. Other names that stand out to me, Zadarius Smith from the Browns. He's available. I think a day 3 pick would get it done for him too. He's under contract for next year, under $10 million. He might be upset about his deal. Who knows? But could he help now? He absolutely could help now. 5 sacks, 22 tackles this year. And so you're talking about someone, the Lions are in on him probably. There's probably other teams in on him, but maybe not. Maybe it goes down to the wire. And if so, offer the Browns a pick for him. If I'm the Browns, I would be willing to move him. And he's someone, again, that could come in right now and help. His age isn't great. You know, he's on the wrong side of 30. I don't care. He'll help you now, under contract for next year. Maybe you play out that contract with him. It's under $10 million cap hit next year. There's a bunch of void years. The Browns did all this weird stuff to his contract because they're moving money around like crazy. But it would make sense in a lot of ways. Zadarius Smith. Again, Azeez Ojulari would be my number 1. That's the guy. That is the, if you have Cooper Kupp on the offense for me, it's Azeez Ojulari on defense. And you're going to notice there isn't many offensive players that I'm targeting, although I would be happy with them going out and getting some offensive line depth, of course. It just doesn't seem like there's much available that makes sense there in that department. Running back, same thing. A lot of those areas, the tight end, same thing. Otherwise, I would be open to that, of course. Other names, Calais Campbell. I wanted them to sign him this offseason. He has a 12% pressure rate. He has 2 sacks. He has 16 pressures. He's 38 years old. He's an interior lineman. Don't care. Would love, like in an ideal world, if you suddenly added Azeez Ojulari and Calais Campbell to this defensive front, it becomes a very, very good defensive front. Just like that. It really does. And it's because they would be able to get pressure with Hendrickson, Ojulari, Campbell up the middle. You would have Hill. You'd still have reps for Chris Jenkins. You'd still have reps for McKinley Jackson, but you'd have Campbell as a guy that could help with Sheldon Rankins, that could help with BJ Hill. And so to me, would make a ton of sense. You're probably talking like a 6th round pick to Miami for Calais Campbell. I would do that all day long. Would do it all day long. Other guys, Baron Browning from the Broncos could be a name in the mix, and Jonathan Jones, the defensive back from the Patriots. But you see those names. You see everyone that I've talked about in this video. Azeez Ojulari, Zadarius Smith, Calais Campbell. Those are my 3 targets. If I had to narrow it down to 3 guys, those are the 3 that I would really target. Of course, you would love Jeffery Simmons. Of course, you would love Harold Landry. Of course, you would love to boost your pass rush with those guys. But to me, Ojulari, Smith, Campbell, go get 2 of those 3 guys and start cooking. I know. They're not going to make moves. They never do moves. I can't believe you're doing this. I get all that. Or maybe they could make a move. Azeez Ojulari. Make the move. Get on the phone, Duke. Get it done. Get it done. We'll see if they do. Happy Halloween from us here at Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Enjoy it with your families, with your friends, with whoever, whatever stage of life you're in. And for Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.